Loving life and grinding every day. That's the way I play. Never mind what I had to say. Tell them I say.
What is good? It's your boy B Moore, joined by my co-host Rustin Stewart, and this is episode 14 of the From New York to the Chi podcast.
I see
What's
that
good,
you changed.
Russ?
I see you changing up your intro, B. You know,
Man,
I was
gotta
ready.
change it
I
every
was
once in a
ready
while.
to hear the yo. You changed it up. I like it, man. I like it, dog. I'm good, man. You know what, dog? Just busy, man. It's a good thing, but my days are pretty jam packed these days, man. I just started taking this acting class, man, Shakespeare class, man. So that has me pretty busy.
Nice. That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah,
We got you. So you gonna be in any plays or anything going on? What we got going on?
Right now, it's just the acting class, little Shakespeare. He signed me the role of Othello. So, man, have you ever read Othello, B?
I have not. I was never. I read, some readings for Shakespeare, that were like mandatory, like back in high school. But I was never like a huge like Shakespeare fan to, kind of the language was kind of hard for me to get into. So I didn't read too much of it.
Well, my instructor, my acting coach told me to get Shakespeare No Fear, right? So that's the name of the book. So what it is it's Shakespeare on the left side of the page, and then it's English on the right side of the page. So it makes it, the ability so you can understand what's going on, man. But Othello, man, I think you should check it out, man. It's deep, dog. It's like a nice little soap opera, man.
Okay, I'll watch the movie. I feel like there've been plenty of Othello movies, so
Yeah.
I'll just pick one and
Yeah,
watch.
Lawrence Fishburne in one, and then Denzel Washington. But I can't find the Denzel Washington one, man. But it's definitely dope, man. But yeah, I just been busy. Got back on my working out tip, man. So just doing the damn thing, man.
Nice. Well, I'm out here in Hawaii visiting my pops, so I'm on vacation. So we doing a podcast remotely.
You just can't say that all nonchalantly, man. You can't just say, "Oh, yo, I'm just in Hawaii." Oh, you didn't say California. You said Hawaii, man. Your pops lives in Hawaii, right?
Yeah. He's been out here for years, man. So that's why I don't say it like, "Oh, I'm out in Hawaii," because it's not
norm.
like a.
But people listening, they don't be like, "What? Where's he at?"
Yeah. So I know typically we have a little drink, when we do the podcast, it's kind of like a little happy hour, but it's only like 9 a.m. here. So I would feel like I had a problem if I was drinking this early in the morning.
Well, you know what they say though, B, when you drink early. It's
What
5
do they
o'clock somewhere. I mean,
It is 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 3:30 in New York, so I say take that drink. You on vacation, B?
Yeah. Well, actually, let's just go ahead and let's just say, because we have to mention our sponsors. We love our sponsors, so we want to just let everyone know that this episode of From New York to the Chi is brought to you by Title Boxing Club Maplewood. Title Boxing Club Maplewood is very proud to sponsor this episode of From New York to the Chi podcast. Title Boxing Club is fun, energetic, and a little sexy, just like the host of this show. Title Boxing Club offers an amazing group of boxing and kickboxing classes along with top-notch personal training. To sign up for Title Boxing Club's free daily 5-minute long workouts, just send them a message and they will respond to you as quick as a jab from Muhammad Ali. You can follow Title Boxing Club Maplewood at TBC Maplewood on Facebook and on Instagram at Title Boxing Maplewood. Whenever I'm in the St. Louis area, Title Boxing Club Maplewood is where I go for an exhilarating and fun boxing workout. All right. So Russ, we're responsible on this podcast, Russ. We're men, and as a man, you have to step up and you have to take responsibility when you're wrong. Sometimes you have wins, sometimes you have losses. And we kind of took a loss last week, Russ. We started the show last week and we talked about Michael Strahan being, he went to a dentist. We saw him. He was posted on Instagram he was talking to a Dr. Lee Gauss at Smile Design Manhattan, and he showed himself with the camera crew. He was documenting this procedure to close his trademark gap. But it was all a April Fool's joke, Russ. We got duped. We were hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. So what do you think about Michael Strahan making fools out of us and out of America on April Fool's Day?
Well, you know, my mother is getting a lot of airtime on this podcast because I was texting her. She watched the show. She's an avid listener. She said, "Russ, you know that was an April Fool's joke, right?" I'm like, "Oh, damn, Mama, you for real?" She's like, "Yeah, that was an April Fool's joke. It was on Good Morning America." And I'm like, "Damn, I guess he got us." Like, we were totally fooled, man. Totally fooled, man. So, you know, I don't usually fall for April Fool's jokes because I know it's April 1st and I have a few friends that like to partake in the April Fools. That's not something that I do, but yeah, we were fooled, man. So, what was the question? Because I had to give my mom's props because that's the one who told me.
Yeah, I remember you sent me that text, let me know that. You know, I have to be honest with you. I didn't know that April Fool's Day was such a big thing. I mean, once you pass the age of like 15 or 16 years old, I didn't think that April Fool's was still like a thing. Like, I remember being a teenager and we, you know, do little pranks on each other. Ha ha ha, April Fool's, you know, but I didn't realize as an adult, like that was like a real thing. You know, I was watching PTI, you know, pardon the interruption, and they started the show with a whole story, like a whole 5-minute long story about Urban Meyer not picking Trevor Lawrence as the number one pick because I think he saw Justin Fields at the Combine Pro Day, and all of a sudden, you know, they went a whole 5 minutes, and then at the end they were like April Fools, you know. So I'm like, April Fool's is like a serious thing. Like, we have people in mass media, professionals, you know, in communication, just totally deceiving and misleading people.
Well, I mean, I have a good friend, Mariella. She actually called in a few shows ago, and she loves April Fools, man. That's the one that I have to kind of either not talk to on April 1st or just know that she's going to come with some April Fool's joke. And sure enough, this past few days ago, she got me. She said that, you know, she was in the area and that she was going to stop by. And I was like, okay, cool. It was like 11 o'clock and she lives in Williamsburg. And for the people that know Brooklyn, you know, Williamsburg is kind of far from Bed-Stuy. I mean, it's not really easy to get to, right? So I'm thinking, why is she in Bed-Stuy at 11:30? Like, what does she have to do over here? Does this say like she was just casually stopping by because she was in the area? And then I said, okay, cool. You know, I have something to do in like 45 to an hour, but you can stop by. And she said, April Fool's, Ross, I got you. And I'm like, Mariella, that was kind of a cruel joke because I kind of got excited to see my friend. I don't see her often. So I'm thinking it's going to be nice to see Mariella. And she says April Fool's. So I'm like, damn, girl, like I got my hopes up all high that I was going to see you. And then you just take it away. But yeah, she got me. Michael Strahan got us. So, hey, but next year we're going to be ready, man, B.
We will be ready next year. So props to Michael Strahan and all the people who love April Fool's Day.
I think though it was still a good topic though, right? I mean, even though he got us, it was still a good topic to discuss, you know, things that you would change about yourself. So, you know.
Yeah. So we got something out of it. It wasn't just a loss. So
exactly.
Something good came out of it. So going from one retired football Hall of Famer to a future NFL Hall of Famer, Aaron Rodgers, quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, has been keeping himself busy this offseason. And it's not a particular workout or anything that really has to do with football. He has been doing a 2-week stint as guest of Jeopardy. But you know what, Russ? It may not be just a 2-week stint because he has gone on record officially as saying he wants the job. Like he wants the full-time job.
I know he's a big fan of Jeopardy, and I have to give a shout out to Stephen A. Smith because he always, whenever he talks about Aaron Rodgers, he says he's a bad man. So I just had to give it a little shout out. But yeah, I mean, he's a big fan of Jeopardy.
Yeah, apparently he grew up watching it with his grandparents, and he says since he got drafted by the Packers at age 21, for the past 16 years, 6 p.m. Monday through Friday has been his Jeopardy time. Wow. So Russ, what do you think about Aaron Rodgers being the new permanent host of Jeopardy, and should you also be in line to be considered for this job?
Well, hooray for him for being able to host a show that he grew up watching and is an avid fan of. I haven't seen an episode with him hosting. I don't really watch Jeopardy. I wish that I did. I mean, I catch it on every now and then, and I would enjoy it. But to be honest, I'm not a trivia guy like that. So I didn't really was able to answer most of the questions, man. So I kind of felt like a dumbass because I didn't know anything unless they were talking about sports or music or something. But yeah, I mean, I did see a clip of a contestant, I guess the final answer where you put all your points up, and he said something like they shouldn't have kicked that field goal. So I thought that was funny because, in the playoffs, they decided to kick the field goal instead of letting Aaron Rodgers go for it on 4th down, which was, I feel like, a mistake. But, I mean, I think it's all about being able to read, because you're reading a teleprompter, let's be honest, and having some personality. So Aaron Rodgers seems to have, a good personality to host a show. I think I could host the show too as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking your acting classes now. You're about to star as Othello, so you could probably add host of Jeopardy to your resume as well.
Would that be something that you would want to do, B?
No. There are a couple of game shows that I would like to host. I don't think Jeopardy would be one of them. Jeopardy's never been like my game show of choice. I'm a Wheel of Fortune dude. Mm-hmm. Like, if it's one show that I actually think that if I watched it every single day for about 3 years and really practice and hone my skills, that I think I could go on and win, it's definitely Wheel of Fortune, because I watched that show with my grandmother, and I get like, let's say if there are 5 puzzles in a show, I'm getting like 2 of them consistently. And this is like with no practice. So I'm pretty sure that if I worked at it, I could do Wheel of Fortune. So I would want to host Wheel of Fortune, but I think I could go on there and actually do some damage as a contestant if I practiced.
You know what? One game show I would love to be on is Family Feud, man. I mean, that would be a fun one to be on.
That would be. Now, that's one I would like to host.
Okay.
I would like to host.
I would like to host the Family Feud because I would definitely let those people have it. Give them some dumb ass answers.
Yeah, I would like to host Family Feud. So that would be one that I would like to host. So big ups to Aaron Rodgers. So speaking of someone who is possibly in line to get a new job opportunity, transitioning to someone who unfortunately lost one. A lot of people were aware of what happened with Paul Pierce. This past week, NBA Hall of Famer and Boston Celtics legend Paul Pierce was let go from ESPN, which is owned by the family-friendly Walt Disney Company, after he went live on Instagram that featured him in a room with adult beverages, smoking, and exotic dancers. Pierce was an analyst for multiple NBA shows such as NBA Countdown and The Jump. And here's something that I think is very important. According to the New York Post, their sources say that one of the reasons that ESPN decided to move on from Pierce was because he was the one who chose to put the videos out on his own. So had he been filmed doing the exact same thing on his own personal time, then it would have been fine. But apparently the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back was the fact that he was the one who went live on his own volition on his cell phone and broadcast this stuff going on. So I have my opinion about this. I just want to start off by asking you what your opinion is on this whole situation with Paul Pierce.
Well, I know when we talked about that last night in the production meeting about the show today, you told me that about ESPN saying, it's because he filmed it and it was on his Instagram. But B, I really don't believe that. Somebody else could have filmed it and it could have went public, but this is Disney we're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Disney owns ESPN. I don't care who records it. Paul Pierce, one of your sports analysts on ESPN, has a whole bunch of scantily clad women dancing provocative in front of his face, and he's drinking, and he's like, especially with everything about, respecting women and not looking at them like sex symbols and all that. I think that he still would have got, maybe not fired, B, but he would have got suspended or something. I think that's easy for ESPN to say, well, it's because it was on his Instagram. I feel like if it airs, whoever does it, he's getting suspended or even terminated. That's my feeling on that.
Okay, so let me play devil's advocate and let me ask you this. So let's just kind of like outline this real quick. So one, he's drinking, okay?
Right.
Adult beverages.
Right.
He's clearly over the age of 21, so that's legal.
Right.
He's smoking, or there was smoke in the room. We don't know what it could have been. Those could have been cigars. It looked like it was a poker party, so that could have been cigars. That could have been cigarettes. Even if it was weed, that's in Los Angeles where it's legal recreationally. So again, totally legal, not doing anything, that's against the law. And having strippers, exotic dancers, whatever you want to call them, they were there. I'm sure they were being paid. It looked like it was somebody's house. No one was there against their will. Also, totally legal. So he's not doing one thing that is against the law or illegal at this point. So why do you think he still would have been terminated, or do you think it still would have been right for him to get any kind of, like, even if it wasn't a termination, any kind of disciplinary action towards him if I had filmed it? So say I was at that party and I was going live on my Instagram and it just showed Paul Pierce in the background. So it wasn't him filming it. Why do you think he still would have been disciplined for that?
Well,
because he's not doing anything illegal.
Right.
He's a 43-year-old man.
But Brian, that's the society that we're living in, right? You've heard about these parties with celebrities that if you're going to that party, you have to put your phone up. Like there's somebody at the door collecting phones because of that. Mm-hmm. They don't want any footage of what's going on behind these closed doors because they could work for a certain company or they have a certain reputation that they have to present, especially if it goes out. So that's just the society that we live in, and you have to be careful with that. If you're a celebrity and you're attached to a company like Disney, you got to think about that. I get what you're saying. It's totally legal what he was doing, and people do it all the time. But that's when you have to tell everybody, put your phones up. If you want to come to this party, your phones have to be locked up. I mean, unfortunately, that's the way it is. And I mean, if you think about it, Donald Sterling, the owner of the LA Clippers, he didn't really do anything wrong. Like, you can't get sent to jail for being a racist. Yes, he's a racist, right? But he was set up by his girlfriend. I'm glad he was set up, but they took his team away because of comments he made. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, honestly, I just think that's the world that we're living in. I don't think Paul Pierce really cared because he said on his Instagram live that I'm about to get fired, yo. So he knew.
Oh, did he say that? I didn't see that part. I've seen snippets of it, but I didn't see. Okay.
Yeah, B. He actually said, yo, I'm about to get fired, yo. So I guess, he knew the repercussions of his actions, and it seemed like he didn't care. Now, check this out. Somebody has offered to pay him $250,000, right, to host a show about the NBA or something like that with
I read
strippers
that
in the background. So,
yeah.
I mean, only in America, right, can you lose your job doing something like that and then get offered another job and say, no, we want you to do exactly that.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is the land where, you know, people like Kim Kardashian and like Paris Hilton, you know, their fame gets boosted up even higher off of sex tapes and stuff like that. And I don't know Paul Pierce's, I don't know his financial situation, but clearly after like 19 years in the NBA, it doesn't seem like he will be hurting for money. So
hopefully he was smart with his money. But you know what, to think about it, Paul Pierce didn't have a lot of endorsements. So hopefully he was smart with his money and he can have these parties. And maybe I meet him one day and he can invite me to one of those parties.
Well, speaking of that, we come from a time,
right?
And we were talking about this the other day, where I started college in 1998, graduated in 2002, so late 90s, early 2000s. Cell phones were just starting to pop in the early 2000s, and I remember I worked at Radio Shack when I was in college, and
That's
thought
right.
it was
you
like
did work at Radio Shack. I forgot about that.
I did work at one of my many horrible college jobs. I worked at Radio Shack, and we remember when Sprint came out with that first picture phone, and we thought it was so dope that you could use your phone to take pictures. And we remember them talking about, at some point you're going to be able to take video with your phone. And we just thought it was like so state of the art. But I say all that to say, we come from an age, especially back in college, when we were really not doing dirt, but just wilding out and having fun and just doing all kind of crazy stuff that college students do, where if you didn't see it, if you weren't there to see it, it never happened.
It never happened.
It didn't happen. Like you had to be there. Like you could have heard about it. Somebody could have told you, hey, you know, I heard so-and-so, I heard you were doing this or doing that. You could look them dead in your eyes, just like Eddie Murphy. I don't remember if it was his Raw stand-up. I don't remember if it was Delirious or Raw, but you could look the person dead in the eyes and say, wasn't me.
Yo, I mean, B,
you know,
not to put out any names out there because I'm not trying to have anybody come at me, but we had a friend that would do dirt. He would be in a relationship, and he told us and told me, I don't care. I'm denying it all the way to my grave. Unless they were in the room watching me hook up with that other girl, I'm denying that to my grave.
With the lie.
Right.
Die with the lie.
You die with the lie. So, B, I've done a lot of things that in my past, especially teenager, sorry, mom, early 20s, where if there was some footage, oh man, I would be still probably haunted by those videos and images, man. So I'm just glad that came up. Oh, it's a amazing.
That was
thing,
a luxury. But here's my question: that was the luxury that we had. Exactly. That was a luxury. The fact that you could do things, men and women, and unless you were there to see it, no one really knew about it. You know, say there were 20 people who saw what you did. That's only 20 people. You know what I'm saying?
Only 20 people.
So why are people, especially 40-year-old men and women, because we're not excusing the women as well, but we're just talking about Paul Pierce in this example. Why are people who are in their 40s, who remember the luxury of being able to do things and not have it broadcast throughout the entire world, why are they what is the need that people feel to broadcast everything that they're doing? I'm sure he could have been at this poker party and he could have been around all of those strippers, had some adult beverages. If he chose to partake in smoking, you know, he could have done that. And I'm sure he would have had just as good of a time as he would have had without pulling out his cell phone and like going live on Instagram. I don't think pulling out his phone and going live on Instagram really affected how good of a time he had at that party. So why do people feel the need to share everything? Like people.
Well, I'm guilty of that, B. I mean, I come from, you know, same time you did, right? But there's also that that desire to show people kind of how I'm living, kind of showing out, B, right?
Yeah.
And then you throw in alcohol.
Mm.
You're gonna be like, where's my phone? Ooh, I'm gonna show out. This is what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm Paul Pierce. Yeah, what? And I've been guilty of it, B. There's been so many times that I've been a little drunk, from a good night out, and I post and I go on and I have all these videos, right? Because I'm a little inebriated. Then I wake up in the morning and I'm like, erase, because now I'm sober. And now I'm looking back at the night and looking at my videos and saying, yo, man, how come somebody just didn't take my phone away from me?
Right.
So, you're not
you blaming
really
it on
heavy.
the alcohol. So we're blaming it on the alcohol.
I could be the alcohol, but it could also too be the society that we live in today, where everybody wants to show out. B,
Right.
You're not really heavy on Instagram. I'm a lot more heavy on Instagram. So I have done that before, and I've said in videos or told people in the space that I'm in, yo, just take my phone away, because that's the first thing people do. And what's sad, B, you're a photographer, so all those pictures back in the days, like the 70s, the 80s, the early 90s, you see a photograph or something like, say something like big time happened where like Martin Luther King gets, killed, right? You don't see people, in the crowd or whatever with their camera phones. Now, every photograph that you see, everybody's holding up their phone and wanting to capture the moment instead of helping that person. It just ruins photos for me.
Yeah. I'm just a naturally more of a private person, so I don't share as much. I just feel like what happened with Paul Pierce, I could definitely see that and understand that happening from someone who was in their 20s or even early 30s. But I just feel like, in your 40s, not just because maturity wise and having a little bit more wisdom, that you should probably, learn, you don't necessarily need to broadcast this when I work for a national television network that is family friendly like Disney. But also, just when you remember the luxury of being able to have a great time and not having to answer any questions about it, I just kind of get a little bit taken aback when I see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you also too, right, B? You have to put yourself in the place of Paul Pierce. He has been like worshipped ever since probably he picked up a basketball, right? So he doesn't have the mindset that you have. He's thinking, I'm Paul Pierce. I don't give a F. I'm going to do what I want, and I'm going to show people how I'm living, right? Yeah. Already Paul Pierce has gotten into some issues by saying he's better than Dwayne Wade or talking shit on LeBron. So he kind of has that mentality like, I don't care, I'm Paul Pierce. I'm a Hall of Famer. I'm going to put this out for the people to see. I just think, this social media thing, and I commend you for not being heavy on it, because I wish that I could take my, social media exposure down a little bit, but I'm also more of I'm a storyteller. I like to, act. I like to, entertain. Now, I'm private with certain parts of my life where I don't show, like I don't really put who I'm dating on Instagram. Right. So I keep that side totally separate, because, it started with Facebook when everybody, would get in relationships and they would say, in a relationship with Becky Smith. Right.
And then it went to, it's complicated.
Then it went to, right.
Then you got to take it down and delete all the pictures.
Right. Or just like, what's up with you and Becky? I haven't seen, I don't know why I chose Becky. It's just the first name that came to my mind. All right. So what's up with you and Becky? Like, I haven't seen any pictures. And then now you have to explain, we broke up, or it didn't work out. Oh my God, what happened? So I like to just keep that side totally private.
Yeah. I agree.
All right, B. So We don't have any voicemails this week, unfortunately. But for the
Okay.
people that want to send in a voicemail, hopefully people will just, I don't know, maybe the springtime will influence people wanting to talk. I don't know. Springtime does a lot of weird things to people, all positives though. But the email is from new NYC to the shy at gmail.com. So that's FromNewYorktoTheChi at gmail.com. So, if you don't even have a question or a topic, just say hello to us. I mean, it'd be nice just to hear from the people. Say what's up. I don't, so we can just, put you on air, and it'd be great to hear from our listeners. So that would be great if
Yeah,
everybody can do that for us.
that will be great. And for shows, we typically have a guest about twice a month. But for the shows that where we don't have a guest, it's kind of like having a guest when we have those voicemails. It's
True.
kind of like having a guest because the listeners are part of the show, and we really appreciate it. Like I said last episode, we can come up with topics that we want to talk about, but when we have people actually call in and actually voice their opinions or give comments, it really does add to the show, because that way we're getting a different opinion, we're giving different perspectives and points of views, and that way we know we're talking about things that you guys, the listeners, actually want to hear and talk about as well. So definitely, please shoot us a email. And I know the email thing for some reason scares a lot of people, because they hear, oh, well, how do I send a voicemail to an email? So for those people who actually know us, if you have our phone numbers, just text us a voicemail as well. The email address is for everyone, because everyone doesn't have our number. But if my name is in your phone, if sending the email is intimidating to you, just text me the voicemail as well. As long as we get it, we can get it on the show as well. So for
Exactly.
some reason, the email seems like a daunting task, so you can text it to us as well.
Right, right. And I just had an idea, B.
Okay.
So our sponsor is Title Boxing Club Maplewood, right? So I
Yes,
think it
they
would
are.
be cool for some of the members to call in and tell us how great Title Boxing Maplewood is. I mean, we have this nice script to say, but it would be nice to hear from the members. So I'm going to challenge the members at Title Boxing Club Maplewood to call in and just kind of like tell us how great it is. Tell us how great the instructors are, what it does for them. So that would be nice to hear, right? So that's going to lead
Absolutely.
me in.
And shout out.
Shout out
Well,
to
no, real quick, shout out to one of the owners of Title Boxing Club Maplewood, Heath Norton. H. Dot, today is his birthday.
Oh,
So
H. Dot.
happy birthday, H. Dot.
You know what, man? That's my longest standing friend, man. Me and Heath met in elementary school, and I want to say Heath came to my elementary school in 4th grade, and we've been friends ever since, man. He's one of the few friends that knew my dad before his stroke, and knew what kind of man he was and still is, but you can't see it right now. But and also his parents, like rest in peace to Heath's parents. It passed a few years ago, but they were like my second parents. So, and it's also like Heath shares his birthday with his beautiful twin girls. So yes, he's one of the owners over at Title Boxing Club Maplewood, along with our other friend DeAndre, but it's not DeAndre's birthday. So
Right. I didn't know that he has the same birthday as his twins.
yeah, he has the same exact birthday as his twin girls.
That is
They turned
crazy.
3 today.
That's
So happy birthday to y'all. So yes, but again, this show is brought to you by Title Boxing Club Maplewood. Title Boxing Club Maplewood is very proud sponsor of this episode of From New York to the Shy podcast. Title Boxing Club is fun, energetic, and a little sexy, kind of like the host of this show. Title Boxing Club offers an amazing group of boxing and kickboxing classes along with top-notch personal training. To sign up for Title Boxing Club free daily 5-minute workouts, just send them a message and they will respond as quick as a jab from the greatest Muhammad Ali. You can follow Title Boxing Club Maplewood at TBC Maplewood on Facebook and on Instagram at Title Boxing Maplewood. Whenever I'm in St. Louis area, Title Boxing Club Maplewood is where I go for an exhilarating and fun boxing workout. So B, we have to get to St. Louis and do a little boxing session at Title Boxing Maplewood.
There's
right?
somewhere on video. I think we were down at Columbia. We were down in Columbia, Missouri for homecoming, and I got a little video of me and Heath moving around in a boxing ring.
Oh,
I got a little. Yeah, we were supposed to be going all body, but I swear he missed. But I swear he threw a headshot, but I slipped it.
That might sound like little Heath, trying to get a little sneak hit right against the rules. You got to watch out for him, man. But
but
so
we
that's
definitely
cool.
got to get down there. That would be dope. Yeah, that would be dope to get down there. So next time we're in St. Louis, you can definitely catch us at Title Boxing Club Maplewood. So so great show, Russ. We got anything else?
I want to get back to this Hawaii thing. What's one of the things that you want to do or that you tend to do every time you go to Hawaii? Because you've been to Hawaii like 7 times, right?
Yeah,
this is your 8th?
It's around there, probably not 6 or 7, something like that. 6 or 7. Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna get out today. Because I fly drones. I'm a drone photographer, so I'm definitely gonna get some of the amazing sights. It's mountains everywhere. It's palm trees everywhere. The ocean. So definitely gonna get some shots of the drone. Usually when I'm out here, I'll definitely hit the beach, do a little bit of surfing. And my favorite food is poke. I go to Whole Foods and I get the poke. It's so amazing out here. It tastes like, we have some poke shops in Chicago, but once you have poke in Hawaii, nowhere else does it justice. Like even when I'm in LA and I have it just doesn't, it's not the same. The way they do it out here is just something special. So
excuse my ignorance, B, but I've never heard of poke. You put that on your Instagram today and I was like, what the hell is poke?
Poke it's fish. It's fish and it's chopped up. So you have tuna, you can have shrimp poke, but it's mostly kind of tuna and it's kind of chopped up and it's seasoned and it's seared. You can have a different kind. It doesn't just have to be tuna. You all types of poke, but it's like a fish.
Okay.
And it's chopped up in little squares and it's seasoned and sauteed and all of that kind of stuff.
Sounds
It
good.
is amazing. It's amazing.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Right,
So other than that, just doing some sightseeing, flying the drone, may get a little bit of surfing in, and just relaxing, man. Gonna go to the beach later today. I'm gonna get my meditation in. We talked about meditating on the show, so definitely gonna sit in the sand and meditate.
Nice.
I got a nice little workout in on the beach yesterday, so I'm just enjoy it. A lot of times I feel like we don't enjoy life. We are either stuck in the past or stuck in the future. I just really want to be present this trip and just enjoy it.
Exactly, man. Well, I'm wishing you an amazing time out there in Hawaii with your father. And yeah, man, I stand behind everything you just said. I did a little meditation after my workout before the show, man. It's nice to be outside. The temperature's getting warmer here in NYC, man. And, you can tell that people are a lot more happy now. So it's a good time of the year, man.
That's sunshine. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, guys. Thank you so much for listening. This has been episode 14 of the From New York to the Chi podcast, and we will always leave you with peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings, and don't forget to subscribe.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. Subscribe. Wait, you know what, Russ? We got to rewind. We forgot to tell people to subscribe. We forgot to tell people to subscribe. I always forget. That's your job, though, man.
But you have to you set me up though. You give me the
look. I'm gonna fix this for the podcast, for the audio podcast. But this is the point of people listening to. This is the point of people watching YouTube, because I don't edit the YouTube. I don't edit the YouTube.
I like
this is the
that.
bonus. This is the reality TV. This is the behind the scenes podcast version.
Yeah,
so
like that.
We let it all hang out on the video. But for the audio podcast, I'm going to fix this. Okay. So, Russ, if people want to subscribe to the show, if people want to support the show,
right,
what should they do?
They should subscribe. I mean, it's what, people? It's really not that hard. Okay, you listen to a great show that me and Brian put out, and then after that, you just click on subscribe, and then it's done. You don't even have to do it again. It's done. All right. So if you guys could do that for us, that we definitely appreciate that. We definitely support. We definitely, and appreciate all the support. And we can't say that enough.
Yes. Thank you so much for listening. And not only subscribe to us on the audio platforms, wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you listen to podcasts, but also please subscribe on YouTube. A lot of people are watching our YouTube videos now. Thank you guys for watching and thank you for the support. But when you're watching the YouTube videos, also please hit that little subscribe button for us. We got a few more followers, so that's exciting. So thank you guys for subscribing. And also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at BMoore4 Photography. That's BEMOORE 4 Photography.
All right. And if you want to follow me, it's Rustin_Steward. And, you guys get a little treat because I've been kind of active on Instagram and putting up some workouts. So if you feel like you're going to the gym and you can't think of things to do, just go ahead and go to my Instagram page and hopefully that can give you some ideas, for your workout.
Absolutely. Some good stuff there. So that's a great show. Everyone, thank you so much for listening to episode 14 of the From New York to the Chi podcast. As we always say, peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings, everybody. We will see you guys next week.
I be swerving in the fast lane, going downhill fast like a crash, man. Calling shots like Jordan in his last game. Life is short, we ain't got no time to complain. So